Hello, my name is Peter Weston. I got an exciting project. Someone sent me this box and said, can you take a look at this and let me know what you think? I have not opened this box. The only thing I've done is followed their quick start guide and set up my logged into the dashboard. So outside of logging in and making sure that I have an account, I've done nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna open this box up real fast. Do not discard boxes or shipping materials. Okay, so I've got a box here. I'm gonna go put this on the ground. There we go. And then I got 3 boxes. Let's take a look at what we got here. Okay, so what I've gotten so far is I've got a power cord. Got some Ethernet cables. So this is kind of nice actually. Let me 1, 2, 3 Ethernet cables. Next. I like that. I like that logo. It's nice and clean. So I'm assuming we've got a switch here. So let's see what we got here. So neXtnet is a hardware independent, software based cloud infrastructure. So the idea, my understanding is, you can bring your own hardware. So this is just a white label switch. And what they've done is loaded their software on it and then made it manageable in the cloud. And so I've got this switch. It's actually a nice looking switch. Funny enough, it looks a little bit like the new Peplink Enterprise switches. We've got the 4 10 gigabit ports here. We got 2 Ethernet. We got a management and a console, and then we have our 24 ports of PoE switch. So if I open up this little box here, or this envelope, oh, dear Mr. West, thank you for your support of neXtnet. We're most grateful. I'm pleased to announce the production-ready candidate of neXtnet Cloud. And they've given me a switch and 2 access points, and they've given me a setup guide, as well as pre-printed return labels. How nice is that? I have the digital version of this setup guide open on my computer here, so I don't need that. Then I've got, I'm assuming 2 APs. So I've got a white box, white label AP. And another white label AP. Okay, so let's see how hard this is to get set up. So the first thing I'm gonna do is plug in my switch. Plug in an AP. Oh, look at that. So the AP has power, uplink PoE, and then an uplink, a second port there. So I'll go ahead and plug both of these in. And then I will uplink this to my network. There we go. Okay, so I'll use port 24 and plug this in right there. Okay, so I've got it plugged in. I didn't need that cable. So now I'm going to go through their instructions here. So the instructions, I probably shouldn't have turned it on, but oh well, I did. Okay, so it says, here's my hardware. We're going to pretend I have an organization. I've got to set up my account, which I already did. So I set my account, I set up multi-factor authentication, which you told me to do, to find your organization. So the first thing I need to do is create my organization. So dashboard, West Networks, organizations. So I'm going to add a new organization. I'm going to call this WestNet 3919. 3919 is my location. There we go, Gainesville, Florida. site venues. Organization, click add, and add organization screen. Okay, so click add. Done. So there's my organization. And then it says define your venues. So here's my WestNet 3919. This would be like a customer. There's my venues. Okay, and I've got a venue, 3919. Perfect. That's very nice. So if I only have one location, I've got that built in right there. Change deployment site to live. Admin. Venues where your physical hardware is located. If you need to edit the venues that you've created when you venues from list, it's easy to go into the update rally branch. Change, edit an existing venue. Go to the admin time, deployment state to live. Oh, there it is right there, state live. Okay, did that. We're good. Okay, so I've done that. They have multiple branches, which we're not going to do. Okay, add hardware to the venue. Okay, so I've got my venue WestNet 3919. So now I need to go to infrastructure. Oh, and look at this. I can click add and put in the MAC address. Control C, Control V. And I'll name the switch 3919 switch 1. Device type ECS 4150. Oh, there we go. ECS 4150 28 port. Okay. Serial number. Control C, Control V. Add. Oh, venue. Oh, choose a venue. WestNet 3919. Add. Oh, look at this. Okay, and there my switch shows up. Okay, now I'm gonna do that for the APs, I'm assuming. And the AP is EAP111. Okay, so I need to add my 2 APs. So I'm gonna go add MAC address, EAP111, 3919 AP1. Choose my venue, serial number, add. Go. Add MAC address 3919 AP2 EAP111 serial number 3919 add. Okay, so adding devices seems pretty straightforward. And I got a little explanation mark. So what does this say? So if I hover the cloud, has lost connection to the switch. Okay, well the switch is rebooting or something because it just got noisy. So my guess is it's downloading something because it just got quiet. So my guess is it came online, downloaded firmware, and then rebooted. So that's okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, time to set up your devices. Oh, now I'm supposed to set up my device. That's my bad. The instructions say do this, then plug it in. I did not follow those instructions. Okay, and then they'll come online. So now I need to configure my network. Final step is to configure your Wi-Fi network. So networks, add, network name, I'll say 3919 Wi-Fi. Don't need a description. There we go. WPA3, I like that, passphrase. So I got passphrase, multi-PSK with the external AAA server, enterprise AAA, so that's 802.1x, passphrase, or public, open network. Okay, next. Authentication, so I can do enable MAC authentication or external captive portal. Okay. Oh, neat, look at this, you can set up a MAC address radius server for MAC authentication, so I'll say none. I can do a VLAN here. I can throttle it. So I can set my VLAN tag. I can do my client downstream rate limit, client upstream rate limit. So I can throttle my client speed. I can select my band. So I can turn off 2 gigahertz, turn on 6 gigahertz. I can hide the network, roaming, client steering. It's kind of neat. Scheduling. So I can set up a schedule, I'm assuming. Oh, look at this. I can set up a schedule when it's going to be online and offline. Next. Okay. Okay, there's my 2 APs are online. I can see that right there. I got a little exclamation mark. Oh, 0 his alert. So I'm assuming if I refresh, maybe those will go away. Oh, I lost that. That's not good. Infrastructure. Got that. Oh, maybe I didn't click save. Okay, let me redo all that. Hold on. 3919. Wi-Fi. Passphrase. WPA3. Passphrase. Next. No authentication. Next. I don't want to do VLAN. Turn off 2 gigahertz. Enable 6 gigahertz. Not going to throttle. Not going to do client isolation. Not going to do scheduling. Click next. Oh, look at this. Complete. Click complete. There we go. Network created successfully. That is 100% my bad. Association. So check the box. Oh, you got to associate. Association. I got to tell it. Look at that. I got to associate it. Hit update. There we go. Okay, so I got to associate the Wi-Fi name with the site. That makes sense. So I can create a Wi-Fi, West Network 3919 Wi-Fi, and then I associate it to my branch or my APs. Oh, that's very nice. Troubleshoot. Okay, that's it. So where I'm a little bit confused is I've got this switch. Ooh, layer 2 VLANs. That's what I wanted to know. Okay, so I've got my VLANs. Discard. How do I add a VLAN? So I see the VLAN. Settings. Clients. Oh, look at this. It scanned my whole network and shows me all the clients on port 24. Okay, that's pretty impressive. So this is plugged into my network. So it's picking that up. It picks up my Peplink switches. Ports. There's my port, speed gigabit on port 24. I do have a 10 gigabit, so I could plug that in via 10 gigabit if I wanted to. What I'm a little bit missing here is how do I add a VLAN as a profile? Infrastructure. Right, I've got the APs, they're all online. Okay, so if I try to connect to the Wi-Fi, see if I see the Wi-Fi here. I don't see the Wi-Fi yet. Is it capable of connecting to it? One of my so just kind of general overview. Oh, so far, adding devices, I understand like creating the venue. I created my venue, and I'm sure I can add, like if I wanted to add another venue, I could call this West Bunker and give it the address. I'll just say West 2404, which is an official name. And I can set it to live, and then 2404 Northwest 43rd Street. There it is right there. So that's our other building. Hit add. And so now I have West, I didn't keep a common name there. I wonder if I can rename it. Admin, oh, yep, there it is. WestNet 2404, update, overview, venues. So now I have WestNet 3919, WestNet 2404. I've got like 3 devices. So that makes sense. Networks, there's my Wi-Fi, infrastructure 2, venues 1. I can see the Wi-Fi. I'm associating that with, oh, look at that. And I can select WestNet 2404 if I want to and push that out. And there's my two Wi-Fis. You can see I've got 192.168.68, which are valid IPs on my network. Now in my client list on my laptop, at least, if I go to Wi-Fi, show available networks. Oh, look at that, 3919 Wi-Fi. So hit connect. Okay, and I'm connected. So I was able to connect to the Wi-Fi. So the only thing I'm missing right now is how I would add like VLANs on the switch. Because right now it's just, if I click on switch, I can see the switch and I can see that it's connected. I can see my ports, my timeline, my clients, which is really cool, by the way. VLAN, layer 2 VLAN. And so here's my VLAN, and it looks like I'm going to be able to do VLANs, but I don't see how to add VLANs, at least not in any way that makes sense yet. Settings, and then I would assume that it would be under infrastructure, is my guess. But actually, infrastructure, if I do this, is just creating devices. So that's just my infrastructure. Profiles, access point switch, base profile, configuration. So I got my profile here. And if I go to 3919 infrastructure, I can add devices. So infrastructure is really devices based on that. Network, there's the assigned network. Okay, can't do anything with that. Filtering, design. Okay, I can draw a floor plan. That's kind of neat. Probably import a picture. Looks like I can annotate walls. Look, I don't see how I would. It looks like we can start to do stuff. Okay. Oh, it looks like I need to bring in an image first, and then okay. So if I brought in an image of my building, I would then be able to annotate my walls and my Ethernet ports. Okay, I'll have to play with that later. That's kind of cool. Networks. Here's my network, and if I click add, it'll let me add another Wi-Fi network. But I can't add a VLAN that I can see yet. So far it looks like it's just untagged. But otherwise the UI seems fairly nice. I was able to add the devices. The instructions were clear. I was able to add the instructions. I'll go ahead and play with this a little bit more and see if I learn more about it. But in the current state, I can see my devices online. Everything looks good. So VLAN tagging, or trying to figure out VLAN. So if I go to networks, I create secure Wi-Fi, and I go to network settings, and I've got my VLAN 55. Now I can go to in control and 3919. So there's my network here, my 3919. VLAN networks. And so I've got my VLAN 55 secure Wi-Fi right there. And it's on all switches right there, all balanced max and switches. So VLAN 55 is trunked through all my ports. So if I go to my Peter's office, edit, oops, not edit, sorry. There's my port, you're plugged into this. That's access VLAN 1, so clients. There's my clients. So I'm going to edit this, trunk, custom, VLAN 1, VLAN 55. My primary VID is VLAN 1.
So now I'm trunking VLAN 1 and 55 up to this switch. Oops, sorry. This switch. And then I got my VLAN 55 right here on the SSID. So I'm trunking VLAN 55 up to the switch. And I've got VLAN 55 right here. Click update. So now if I go to my settings, network, Wi-Fi, show available networks. There we go. Secure Wi-Fi. So here's my secure Wi-Fi that I created. Connect. I should not be able to get an IP address, or I should. It should be on the VLAN 55 network, but not getting an IP address. And I believe that this is the case because if I go back to 3919 Wi-Fi, there we go, connected. So if I come back here and I go to infrastructure and go to the switch, layer 2, there's no VLAN 55 and I can't add it. So even though I created a Wi-Fi with VLAN 55, that's not showing up here. So I think that's a problem.
This is my first interaction with this. I've literally never opened the box until now. I'll let this run for the holiday and play around with some reports and settings and see what else I can find. But anyways, happy 4th of July, and thank you so much. Thank you for watching me on this trial, and have a great 4th of July.